The poll numbers are coming out, and first I want Stu to explain the poll numbers and what's exactly happening with the poll numbers, because the poll numbers are showing that Romney is losing now. However, there's a problem with the sample size. The sampling is wrong. First of all, I don't know a single soul that takes... I hang up the phone. You have a pollster? Get the hell off my phone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't trust any of you. I don't want any of it. I also don't identify myself as a Republican. I'm going to vote for Romney, but I'm not going to say I'm a Republican because I'm not a Republican. Republicans suck. And Republicans are... I mean, how many percentage points have the Republican Party gone down in the last 4 years? And people started to say, I'm an independent. Because that's what I am. I'm an independent. I'll vote Republican from time to time. I will this time. But I'm not a Republican. So let's look at the polls that are out now.
Yeah, right now the polls on average show about a 3-point lead for Obama. And that is about where it's been for a while. The margin of error of these polls put the race basically in this window, from about Romney +2 to about Obama +6. So everything generally fits into that window. When there's an Obama favorable poll, it seems to be Obama +5, +6. When Romney is leading, it can get to Romney +1 or 2, but it leans Obama right now in most of these polls. There's a great story on the Blaze, and you can see the chart on the Blaze right now. A blogger went through and plotted on a chart all of the recent polls and the split between Republicans and Democrats that were sampled. So were there more Republicans sampled in this poll? Were there more Democrats sampled in this poll? With the exception of one poll where Romney is leading, every single poll favors Democrats in the sample size. That's not entirely impossible. It does happen like that. For example, you remember 2004, John Kerry, the John Kerry election. The poll showed, even though Bush won that election fairly handily, the exit polls showed an even split between Republicans and Democrats. In last year, it was a huge lead for Democrats, as you'd expect. Not last year, but in 2008, as you'd expect when Obama had a large win. But even when Republicans win somewhat handily, it tends to be that the sample size is about even. A lot of times, because what you were talking about, there seems to be people leaving the Republican Party and just becoming independent, but still voting the same way, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it kind of keeps you're not, there's no allegiance to the party. So when you look at this chart, it is pretty much, it's pretty impressive, and it is true. It seems to be, I think, a lot of times conservatives don't participate in the polls as much. Also, it depends on if it's likely voters or registered voters, because Republicans do better when it's among likely voters. And a lot of people are registered. That doesn't mean they actually show up. And Republicans are more enthusiastic about this election.
I have to tell you, I want a yard sign. I can't wait to vote. I want a yard sign that says, I can't wait to vote. I'm not going to tell you who I'm voting for. I can't wait to vote. Yeah. Some people are like, I don't know if I'm going to vote. I can't wait. Open the polls for me right now. I can't wait to vote. Now, here's the thing. If you look at another survey that was done, and it's done it with Romney leading and Romney being at a tie and Obama leading. And they keep doing this poll. Who do you want to win? Usually it's Romney when they're asking. Usually it's Romney. 1, 2, or 2 points. Who do you want to win? Romney. Who do you think's going to win? The poll changes dramatically. 54-39. Obama. This is the press. That is the press. That is the media. That's everyone that you know in any pundit, anybody, always saying, well, he's not going to win. You know what happened? Mark my words, America. Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz. Remember that name. Everyone said he's not going to win. Every expert, he's not going to win. Every political pundit, every single political person in the GOP, every elected official, everybody who knew what they were doing, he's not going to win. Pat and I sat at a table with a very, very smart guy who's very well connected politically here in
Really influential. Yeah.
very influential and very connected. And we sat at a breakfast table with him 3 months ago, 4 months ago. And he said, and he looked us in the eye and he said, "You're on the wrong side." Ted
Dewhurst is going to win.
Dewhurst is going to win. Ted Cruz doesn't have a chance. I said, I don't think so. Well, you don't know. You don't know Texas politics. He's not going to win. Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm putting all my support behind Dewhurst. Yeah, I don't think he's going to win. I sat with Governor Perry, and this is just a few weeks before the election. He said, "Glenn, you're on the wrong side." And I said, no, Rick, I think you're on the wrong side on this one. First of all, if Dewhurst wins the primary, I guess I'm going to be the Dewhurst guy because I don't know who's running against on the Democrat, but I can guarantee you it's not. I don't want to help that bandwagon because they're spineless weasels, most of them Marxists. I said, but I don't think Dewhurst is the guy. Glenn, you don't know Texas politics. And each time I left there convinced, doesn't have a chance to win. Look what happened. What was the final there?
Oh, it wasn't even close. It was
6 or 7.
7 points.
Mm-hmm.
Said he wouldn't win.
It was over by 8:20. Polls closed at 8.
Now look, here's the thing. You can't get discouraged. Why do you think that they don't release the exit polls? Why don't they release the exit polls? Because on the day of the election, they don't want to discourage people from voting. But nobody's saying that now. Nobody's saying, "Hey, don't say that who's going to win or who's not going to win because you're going to discourage." Don't listen to the lies. Don't listen to the people who say he's not going to win. Now, is he going to win? I don't know. Does he have to win? Yes. And by the way, Ron Paul people, I have had it up to here. Romney called the Fed and begged them not to do this. Romney's not an abolish the Fed guy, but he's at least let's not burn the damn country down guy. He called them, begged them. He has said, "I fire Bernanke the day I get in." And you guys are so delusional. You are. You know what you're going to lead to? The Arab Spring. What is wrong with you people? Ron Paul's not running. He's not running.
And Gary Johnson is not going to win. Please, by all that is holy,
if you think he can win, God bless you, then vote for him. But if you're trying to make some point, you're out of your mind. Look, we know what we have in Barack Obama. We know. Could you allow some chance? Because, look, I don't think Romney is the guy on all of the policies that I want. He's not. He's a much bigger government guy than I want. But I know that he will listen to God. And believe me, maybe we could all pray that God will strike him with lightning. Then maybe one day he'll come out and he'll come out of the Oval Office with gray hair and he'll be like, "Okay, all right, whew, I just had quite a wild experience. We've got to abolish the Fed." I don't know if that's the message he's going to get or he'd listen to, but we know that's not something that Barack Obama is going to do. We know the message has been transmitted to Vladimir. Could he transmit it to your puny little head? He's going to be worse than he was in the first 4 years. What do you think when he says, "I'm going to have a little more latitude after I'm elected the second time, transmit that one to Vladimir"? What do you think he's going to do? And if anybody says, "Oh, you know what? Well, then we can just, we'll have the whole thing collapse." You don't know what you're talking about. Do you know what collapse looks like? I got an email. I should read the email that I read to these guys on the plane on Saturday. Did I read that one? That email that I got from the financial guy in New York?
Jeez, that was not a positive outlook.
Not a positive outlook. And this guy's a very financially conservative guy. He's not a guy who's like, "Hey, everybody should jump out of the windows. My gosh, we were at 40,000 feet. If I could get the window open, I would have jumped out the window." Economic collapse is on our horizon. Let me say it again. Global economic collapse. We're not talking about a depression. We're talking about, hey, I buried my treasure. I'm going to look for it. It's too slippery. I can't hold on to it. It's no longer there. I went to go look for my sword so we could protect, and the sword is no longer there. Why? Financial global collapse. Now, If you want to have a revolutionary at the head, have at it. Have at it. Bad idea. You want to have somebody who has a chance of listening to God, who has a chance of taking maybe another. Okay, granted, I'll give you. He doesn't have the best record of always going that way. But we know the other guy definitely won't. What do you say we believe in divine providence a little? What do you say we give it a whirl? Don't listen to anybody who says, A, he can't win. Don't listen. Don't listen to anybody who tells you, hey, well, maybe I'll just give it a whirl because they're all alike. They're not all alike. Don't listen to anybody who says, you know what, okay, so we're going to have financial collapse. Don't worry. Ann Taylor will be open in a week. We'll be back at the mall in 2. Don't listen to them. The world is being completely redesigned right now. You want to have an American that believes in the free market at the head of the table? Answer yes or no. That believes in the free market and believes in American exceptionalism and believes in Americans should lead the way to a more prosperous future. If you don't, great. Vladimir will lead, and so will Mahmoud. He will lead, and so will Mohammed, and so will the French. If you think that's going to be a great outcome, wait until the Chinese get involved. Oh, future's bright. You dummy. Okay.